I welcome you to this very important conference for a candid conversation on ending outlawed toxic drinks, drugs, and substance abuse in Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, Tana River, Lamu, and Taita Taveta counties. This meeting happens days after the National Substance Prevention Week held a few days ago, led by NACADA. It is also around the same time that we sadly lost more than 20 lives in Kirinyaga County to poison packaged as alcohol by merchants of death. We are here because the coast region is strategic to our economy, and so are the people of this region. The immense contribution from the arts and culture, tourism and hospitality, trade and logistics through the Mombasa, Lamu, and other ports, the blue economy, among other socioeconomic activities, contribute immensely to our GDP. That is why the Ruto administration is working with partners in expanding the investment portfolio for this region to reach its full potential. We therefore cannot afford to leave the people of this region behind as we transform Kenya. We must transform Kenya together. But they cannot do so with the high crime rates, little to no education, minimum to no skills and expertise, diseases, especially HIV and AIDS, and tuberculosis, among other challenges. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, most of these challenges are directly linked to high rates of consumption of alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. The youth, the hope of this region and our nation, Kenya, are sinking in illicit brews, drugs, and substance abuse. Against a perception that the region is mainly affected by drugs, alcohol consumption stands at 13.9% against a national average of 11.9%. The youth between 15 and 35 years are the most affected. Cases of children aged 11 years and even below abusing alcohol and drugs have been reported in this region. Of deep concern is that illicit brews are also thriving in this region. Indeed, between January and September 2023, over 160,000 liters of illegal poisonous brews were nabbed in this region. Kilifi County has the highest usage of packaged and traditional alcohol, while Mombasa is leading in consumption of changa. Taita Taveta has the highest use of second-generation alcohol. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, while Mombasa and indeed the coast region was mainly a transit of illegal drugs and substances, it has now become a profitable destination with a thriving market. Hard drugs, including heroin and cocaine, have permeated the region, with the most affected counties being Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi, and Lamu. Nationally, about 26,000 people inject themselves with heroin, cocaine, and other hard drugs, and of these, 89% are youthful men. Mombasa, Kwale, and Kilifi are among the top 5 counties in the country, accounting to 43% of people who inject themselves with drugs. The other 2 counties are Nairobi and Kiambu. Latest reports show that Coast now hosts up to 18,000 users of injectable drugs, and mainly our young population. One of the biggest negative impacts of injections is the spread of HIV/AIDS. In Kenya, the prevalence of HIV/AIDS among people injecting drugs is 18.7% against 4.3% among the general population. This is about 4 to 5 times risk of contracting the virus through sharing of needles and syringes. Besides HIV, they are exposed to hepatitis B and C. Because of rejection from families and stigma from society, most drug abusers stay together in dens and dungeons. This increases the risk of contracting tuberculosis and other communicable diseases. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, crime rate is also very high at the coast, particularly in Mombasa County. Juveniles and youths trapped in drugs engage in lethal crimes to finance their abuse of hard drugs. As you may bear witness, the deadly gangs, armed with crude weapons, terrorize people in Likoni, Kisauni, the Old Town, among other areas. At family level, domestic violence has been linked to alcohol, drugs, and substance abuse. For instance, a study on the negative impact at the coast and central Kenya placed intimate violence at 33.3%, economic violence at 16.7%, physical violence at 15.1%, and sexual violence at 7.1%. Ladies and gentlemen, with about 18,000 injectable drug abusers in this region, we cannot sit back and watch as our young people are driven to extinction. It is for this reason that the government has convened this conference of diverse stakeholders to dissect this matter and come up with a joint strategy of saving our young people and our country. Officers of government, ladies and gentlemen, our porous borders and the open seas are under sharp focus. Rogue security and officers of other security agencies, state agencies, have been compromised in corruption by merchants of death for far too long. Brewers of poisonous alcohol, drug peddlers, and barons belong to jail. State officers abetting this illegal trade have no room under this administration. Your time is up. You have two choices: to work or simply just walk away. Life in Kirinyaga County, where police officers had the mindless courage to steal and sell toxic alcohol exhibits with sheer impunity, is shocking. And we are ready to send people to jail, including those who work for government. If you still want to serve this government, you must map out all official and non-official entry points. Way forward, ladies and gentlemen, in the 6 counties, we only have 2 public rehabilitation centers: Miritini Treatment and Rehabilitation Center in Mombasa, which is run by Nakada, and the Kwale County Government Rehabilitation Center in Kombani. This is against 14 private facilities, charging from 90,000 Kenya shillings or more for a 3-month program. This is not affordable to most families. We cannot concentrate resources on development as our children are ruined and killed. I challenge our counties, led by governors and deputy governors who are here, to channel revenue collected from alcoholic drinks licenses into building and equipping rehabilitation centers. This will be part of the support system in the recovery strategy as we seek to restore the dignity of our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, similarly, none of the 6 counties has enacted a specific legal framework for containing alcoholism and hard drugs. I note that Mombasa County is making progress in developing a legal framework. As I urge the county to expedite this process, I encourage the other governors and county governments to adopt a legal framework to complement national laws in providing a structured approach to defeating drugs. There is also an urgent need to review and strengthen the existing laws on manufacturing, distribution, and sale of alcohol. For a stronger, sustained war, we call for multi-agency actions and political goodwill. On this note, I invite you to an open and candid discussion and look forward to a joint strategy for containing and ending illicit alcohol and substance abuse at the coast. Asanteni sana.